Hello everyone, welcome to Global Online University. In this video, we will be looking at more than 100 questions from Information and Communication Technology for UGC NTA NET Paper 1. We have tried to cover each and every topic of this particular unit so that you increase your confidence and boost your marks in the examination. So do watch the complete video to get an idea of what kind of questions can come from this unit, and also to find out ways and to plan your strategies for this particular unit. This is a very scoring unit, and this video will play a very important role in understanding this unit.
Before going to the questions, I would also like to tell you that we have brought for you one day revision PDF for UGC NET paper 1. This PDF will include all the important topics which are like current affairs. PYQs are very important for any examination, and the most expected MCQs that you must practice before the examination. The fees is just 499, and you can contact on this number to get access to this one day revision PDF. Also, we have theory plus MCQs PDF for students who are giving that UGC NET paper 2 in geography, economics, commerce, social work, English management, Hindi or law. So if these are your subject, these PDF will be enough for your preparation since the exams are closer. So only through these PDF you will be able to study the entire syllabus in a very short time. To get access, you can contact on this number, and the fees is 4999. Okay. The first question for today is, consider the following storage devices: hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD or floppy disk. Now you have to arrange these in ascending order. Ascending means from small to bigger. Okay. The one which has lowest storage capacity to the high storage capacity. So if we look at these options, the least will be floppy disk. You know, these are very old ones. So it would be D, starting with D. Then it would be CD-ROM, yes, B, and then comes DVD, digital versatile disk, okay, and the highest storage is hard disk. So the right answer is DBCA. Option A is the right answer. Now, this question is saying, given below are two statements. So there are two statements. You have to tell if one is correct or the other is correct, or if both are true or both are false. Let's read the statement. Statement 1 is saying that internet is a private network inside a company or an educational organization. So this is absolutely wrong. We all know that internet is used all around the world. It connects computers to all the computers around the globe. Okay. So this definition is more apt for intranet. So intranet is used within an organization. While statement 2, it says HTML is an incomplete code package that allows the users to create web pages. So HTML stands for hypertext markup language, but it is not incomplete. Okay, it is a complete code package because although the websites created from HTML is basic, but it can still create web pages. Okay, complete website can be created. So even this statement is wrong, which makes option B right, that both of the statements are false or incorrect. Which of the following statement is or correct? Software is loaded into secondary storage. Secondary storage means like your CDs or DVDs. So this statement is absolutely wrong. Software is not loaded into secondary storage from RAM and is then executed by a CPU. No, it is loaded into RAM, which is read random access memory. Okay. Second statement is saying a search engine is a software that is designed to search for information on the World Wide Web. This is absolutely right because we know there are so many famous search engines like your Google or your Yahoo or Bing. All these help you to search for any kind of information or data that you want on the internet. Okay, so only option B is right. Next is identify the correct matching pairs. TXT is text file. Okay, MP3, so if I look at this, this is right. MP3 is audio video. Yes, this is also true. XLS is PowerPoint presentation. No, XLS is your spreadsheet. Okay, it is related to spreadsheets. And AVI is audio video interface. So it is not used for statistical information. It is also a audio and video file format. So only 1 and 2 is correct. Next is, put the following units of storage in the correct order, starting from the smallest unit going to the largest. Okay, so they're asking you to arrange the storage unit into ascending order. So as we all know, the basic storage unit is bit. Okay, so bit, then 8 bits combine and form a byte. Then a byte makes 1,000 bytes makes a kilobyte. So it is 6 to 1. Then after kilobyte, students, it comes megabyte. Okay, 3 will come. Then will come gigabyte, 5. And then will come 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 6. So if you look at options, the right answer is option C. Okay, 6 to 1, 3, 5, 4. So your basic is 1 bit, and then it goes on from bit to byte, and then kilobyte, megabyte. And also remember, one nibble is called, it is 4 bits. Okay, you can also call it as half a byte. Okay, next, a new laptop has produced that weighs less. Okay, there is a new technology that has come up, and because of which laptops are lighter now. Okay, they're smaller, they are lighter than the previous versions that were produced. So now the question is asking, which of these following technologies is used to make the laptops lighter and smaller? Universal serial bus? No, this is not right. Neither random access memory, neither Blu-ray drive, but SSD. SSD is the new technology that has come up, which has made laptops lighter and faster. NMEICT stands for. So this NMEICT, this is very important in so many of the examinations. This is being asked. So, if you look at the options, the right one is option A, National Mission on Education through ICT. So, this was a initiative by MHRD then, which is now called Ministry of Education. So, there are numerous initiatives or projects that come under this NMEICT. You have eAntra, and you have this National Digital Library, Swayam and Swayam Prabha. All these come under NMEICT. Okay, so it helps to expand higher education in ICT. Next is scrambling of data before transmission over a network to avoid manipulation by third parties known as. So whenever you want to send your data over the network, you don't want that others to read your text. So that text is converted into cipher text. Okay, this is called cipher text, which makes which does not allow others to read it. So this changing your original text into other form is known as encryption. It helps in data security. Okay. Next is, which one of the following allows a phone call to be routed over network wires? So this is the right answer is option D, voice over internet protocol. So this has allowed to make a phone call over network. Next is, which of the following correctly lists type of computer memory from highest to lowest? So if you look at the options, secondary storage, RAM, cache memory, and CPU registers. So since they are asking from highest, the whenever such type of questions come, students always remember the CPU registers will have higher speed. Then will come your cache memory. Okay. So because of cache also, this computer has become faster. Then comes your RAM, and the secondary storage is the has the lowest speed. So the right answer is option C, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. RAM is used as short memory as it is. Is it expensive, small capacity, programmable, or volatile? So RAM is used as short because short means for a very small duration. Because it is volatile, whatever is stored inside the RAM, whenever the computer switches off, everything gets disappeared or vanishes. Okay. Line access and avoidance of collisions are main functions of. So you all know that if you want to send something from one computer to other, your data is it is broken into different parts, okay, which is called packets. So how these packets will be sent over the network, and it breaks, this data is broken into small packets and they are sent through different routes, okay, they don't go at once. So this line acts as how the data will be sent, and avoidance of collision, so that no packets, they don't collide, or they don't hit each other. That is taken care by network protocol. So we have numerous network protocol like TCP, IP, UDP. All these are protocols that take care of all these tasks: line access and avoidance of collision, which is not a web browser. So students, as you all know, web browser are those kind of application software that helps you to access the internet. So if you look at the options, we all know internet is a very famous web browser. Okay, so this is not right. Netscape Navigator also. Firefox is also a web browser, so this is not correct. While option C is correct, Facebook is a social networking website. Okay, it is not a web browser. That is why C is the answer. Which one of the following is not the same as the other three? MAC address, hardware address, physical address, or IP address. So your MAC address, physical address, and hardware address, these are used for local identification of any computer on the LAN, while your IP address is used for global identification of your system over the network, okay, which is on the internet. So odd one out is option D, IP address. In computer networking, HTTP is a stateless protocol as servers do not many information about past clients. HTTP is acronym for. So students in UGC NET examinations always remember to prepare acronym, because you can expect one acronym from ICT unit. At least the basic ones you should know. So HTTP is a basic one, and its full form is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So it helps in the communication between your web server and client. Okay, client is like if you are searching something on the internet, so you are the client, and the servers, who the one who is giving you the information, it is called server. So that communication is done by hypertext transfer protocol. Okay. Dot temp is a transit file, transactional file, temporary file, or transfer file. So dot temp, it stands for temporary files. Option C is the right answer. So it is used when a file is being created or modified, and many times it is also used to recover data. Okay, so that is the task of a temp file. You can also delete the temp files. Next is dash. The dash is a basic unit of information in computing and digital communication. So this question is very simple. The right answer is option D. Bit is the basic unit. In one of the previous questions also I told you that bit is the basic or the smallest unit of information. Then comes bit, then nibble, then byte, then kilobyte, and megabyte, and so on. Okay. Next is which of the following statement is not correct? uh, Option A is computer is capable of processing only digital signals. So this is not right. A computer can process both digital and analog signals. There is something called hybrid computers. So that can also process analog signals as well. So that means this option is incorrect, right? Let me also read you the other options. Appropriate software is used for processing of data. Yes, this is correct. Computer is capable of processing digital and analog signals. Yes, as I told you, hybrid ones. Computer is capable of analyzing both qualitative and quantitative data. Yes, there are different softwares that can analyze this. So, A is the right answer. Which of the following statement is correct? Again, you have to tell which is the right option. Virus is an operating system. No, it is not an operating system. Virus does not allow, internet does not allow the virus to spread. This is absolutely wrong. There is a type of virus called worm. It can easily transmit from the computer to the network. Option D says virus improves the speed of processing information. No, absolutely not. Virus makes a computer slow. It does not make a computer fast. That is why A is the right answer. Virus is a part of software, and its task is to replicate. Okay, it multiplies itself, and what it does is it uh, harms your computer. It can delete file, it can make your computer slow, many problems it can create. Which of the following is correct? Modem is a software. Okay, this is not right. Modem is not a software. Modem is an OS operating system. No, it is not an operating system. Modem helps to stabilizing. It helps in stabilizing the voltage. No, this is also not right. Modem converts analog signal to into digital and vice versa. Yes, this is absolutely right. Modem, it is the short form of modulation and demodulation. Both of these words have combined to form modem, and this conversion from analog to digital and digital to analog, that is done by modem. Okay, these the answer. Which part of the CPU performs calculations and makes decision? So the part of the CPU that does this mathematical operations task, that it is called ALU, arithmetic logic unit. So if you look at the options, option C is the right answer. Okay, next. CD-ROM stands for. So CD-ROM, student, it is compact disk read-only memory. Option A is the right answer. Next is a machine that links two networks using two different protocols. So this question is really important. The task is accomplished by when you want to connect a machine that has that is linked to two different networks. So that task is performed by a gateway. Is the right answer. What is the responsibility of logical unit in the CPU of a computer? So, as I told you in one of the questions, that ALU does the task of your mathematical calculations or arithmetic calculation. There is also something called LU, logical unit. Its task is to compare numbers, okay? Greater than, less than, or equals to, not equals to. That is done by logical unit. Okay, mathematical is done by ALU. Remember this. Okay, next is the system unit of a personal computer typically contains all of the following except. So the question is saying the system unit of a PC, personal computer, is the full form of PC, which contains this. Yes, a PC contains microprocessor. This is right. Disk controller is also there. Serial interface is also there. But modem is not a part of the system. It is there externally, and its task is to convert analog signals into digital and digital into analog. Okay, a modern computer operates on. So all the modern computers that we are using, like your supercomputers, your mainframes, all they operate, or you can say work. They work on data. Okay. So as you all know, the task of a computer is to process data. So that is also the task of all modern computers. Which one among the following is the main system board of a computer? CPU, keyboard, microchip, or motherboard? So motherboard is the right answer to this question. All the chips, your this RAM, ROM, all of these are connected. Or your hard disk, all these are connected into your motherboard. It is a main circuitry board of your system. An error in a computer is it a virus, bug, fatal error, or power error? The right answer is option B, bug. Bug means any flaw. Okay, there is the computer is designed to do a specific task. If it is not doing it correctly or properly, we can call it a bug. Okay, next is a compiler is used to convert the following to object code which can be executed. So which is the language that a compiler translates? Natural language, assembly, low level, or high level? The right answer is high level language. The examples of high level languages are C, C++, your Python. Okay, so what a compiler does, it translates or converts all the source code at once. Okay, interpreter goes line by line, but compiler converts all the language or the code into your object code. Object code is that code that the computer will understand. Okay, it is the binary format of your code. Next is in which of the following languages a source program is written. So, source program is that program that a software developer writes, and he writes in a high level language. Okay, high level language, we are calling it because it is very similar to English. Like if you want to open a file, there would be a command like open, or you want to close something, the command will be close. These type of words are used in coding so that it makes very easier for the developers to code, rather than coding in like your previous year language like natural language or assembly language. Those were very hard to code. Okay, next is ICT comprises of information and communication technology. It comprises of online learning. Yes, it does. Learning through mobile apps. Yes. Web-based learning. Also, yes. We can, like today you are learning through YouTube. Yes, this is also a form of ICT. So, in this question, the right answer is option D. All. Which number system is used to store data and perform calculations in computer? So your octal number system, it has base 8 students, binary has base 2, decimal has 10, and hexadecimal has 16. But the number system that is used by computer is called binary number system. B is the right answer. Who played an important role in developing first supercomputer in India? So that the person behind him is Vijay Bhatkar. Uh, he was the person who has been able to develop the first supercomputer, whose name was Param 8000. It was developed in CDAC Pune in early 1990s. So Vijay Bhatkar is very important. You should know this information. The speed of processor of a computer is measured in hertz, baud, bps, or MIPS. The right answer is option A, hertz. Let's look at other options as well. Baud, students, it is used for data transmission speed. BPS is used for uh, it is used in finance. Okay, and MIPS is million instructions per second. Okay, so for processor speed, we are using hertz, like 5 gigahertz, 6 gigahertz, like that. Internet Explorer belongs to which application category? Is it a mail client, web browser, spreadsheet, or folder? Definitely, it is a web browser. We all know Internet Explorer is very famous. It was developed by Microsoft. B is the answer. What type of operating system or OS is MS-DOS? So MS-DOS is a very old operating system. It is a CLI operating system. CLI means command line interface. You might have seen sometimes you open command prompt like the back screen comes na. The same way MS-DOS is a command line interface. Whatever you want to open, you will have to write. There are certain programs like there is CD. CD means change directory or list, like that. We use command line interface in your MS DOS. By graphical user interface, Windows is a very good example of graphical user interface. Next is, which technology is used in compact disc? Compact disc means CDs that we use. Everybody knows CDs. There are different tracks and sectors inside a CD. So the technology behind the compact disc is laser. That is why it is called optical storage. Okay, remember this. Next is, which of the following comprise the input device? Keyboard, mouse, both, or only one? You all know keyboard is used to give instructions to the computer. Yes, it is an input device. Also, mouse is an input device. Whenever we want to open a file, we click on it with the mouse. So even mouse is also a input device. That is why C is the answer, both 1 and 2. Where are the instructions which are used to run a digital computer stored? Motherboard, hard disk, memory, or all of the above? The right answer to this question is option C, memory. The digital computer, students, it is used, it works by counting, comparing, or manipulating various digits, okay? And their combinations and the instructions, they are stored in the memory. That is why C is the answer. Next is, which of the following devices produces a permanent human readable text or graphic document? The right answer to this question is option C, printer. See, human readable means that we can read. Okay, text is the printed copy that comes out of a printer, and of graphical document. It could be an image, it could be a simple text. So the device that produces this hard copy of your document, it is called a printer. Okay, headphone is a output device. Also, all these are output devices, but human readable text, it is generated by a printer. What does BCC mean? When you're sending email, you might have seen some fields like to, CC, and BCC. Here the question is saying, what is the full form of this BCC? BCC stands for blind carbon copy. Whatever, if you have put something, any email ID in BCC, the uh, email IDs in to and CC, they cannot see who is there inside BCC. The email IDs are hidden actually, but the person who is in BCC, he can see the to and CC, but vice versa is not true. What is the default file extension of MS Excel files? So Microsoft Excel files, what is the extension? ACS, EXE students executable files. While if we talk about MS Excel, the file extension is XLS. D is the answer. Malware is a short of. So you might have heard of a term called software. There is also a term malware, and it is the short form for malicious software. Malicious is something that causes harm, and your virus, worm, Trojan horse, logic bomb, all these are different kinds of malware, and which is the short form of malicious software. These the answer. Which of the following is a program that copies themselves throughout a computer or network? So the program that copies itself, makes multiple copies of itself, and it can harm your computer or other computers. It is called virus. Okay. C is the answer. Worm is also a type of virus. Which of the following places the common data element in order from smallest to highest? So students, the smallest is character. Then there is something called field. A field makes a record. Like if there is a student table, field is like student name, student age, student class, student marks. So this is called a different field. Like there is student one, this is field one, there is field two. So this is, and these multiple rows, they combine to form a file, and multiple file combines to form a database. So the smallest to highest is option C. Next is, dash is the permanent memory built into your computer called. So the permanent memory that is built in inside your system by the manufacturer itself, it is called read only memory. Whatever is there inside a room, you cannot change it, and it has very crucial information regarding your computer. Okay, is the answer. USB type storage device is secondary, auxiliary, tertiary, or primary. USB means your universal serial bus, your pen drive. I could say it in a simple word. So, pen drive is an example of secondary storage. Is the right answer. Next is, which of the following is an extension of video file format in computers? So, as we all know, students, JPG stands for Joint Picture Export Group. It is an image file format. EXE is executable file format. BMP is a image file format, and the full form is bitmap. While your MPG, moving picture export group, it is a video file format. C is the answer. Which of the following devices is required to connect a computer to the internet? So pen drive, do you think it connects you to the internet? No. Does a mouse connect to your mouse? No, not at all. DVD, does it help you to connect to the internet? Definitely not. The right answer is option B, modem. It converts analog into digital and digital into analog signals. Okay. Which of the following is an example of system software? Firefox, Notepad, Windows 98, or Avira. So students, system softwares are those software which provide a platform so that other softwares are able to run on it. Operating system is a kind of system software. So if you look at the options, Firefox is a application software, Notepad is also application software. Avira is a antivirus. It is also application software. While your Windows 98 is an example of system software. D is the right answer. Okay. Okay. The first question here is, what is required for good communication? So, as you all know, there are certain factors or certain elements that you should keep in mind for having a effective communication. Is it clarity of thoughts, dramatic presentation? Dramatic presentation, like you see in the Sasbahu serial on the television? No, that is not good communication. Speaking in mild tone. So, mild tone is not important, students. Your tone should be as per the situation. Speaking without pause. So, sometimes a person is not very good in a particular language, so he might use some pauses. So, even if you're using, if even if you're saying without pause, that is also not very important. The most important is clarity of thoughts is the right answer. What you want to convey, that is more important, and the way you are conveying is more important. Okay. Next is, expressing words in communications falls under. So expressing words, when you are like, if two person are people are talking and one is saying something and expressing, so this expressing words will fall under sender, message, channel, or receiver. So the right answer here is option A. Obviously, sender is the person who is transferring the message, so he will be expressing his or her thoughts. So expressing words will come under a center. The message, whatever the idea or the information is, that is the message. Channel is how you are sending that message. Is it through an email or a letter or through face to face conversation? And receiver is the person who receives the message. Okay. Next, communication via new media such as computers, telecommunication, internet, mobile telephony is termed as. So in this question, they are saying that whenever there is exchange of information, via means through new media means the latest technologies, like we have computer, internet, and teleshopping. Which kind of communication it is? What communication you call it when it is through the latest technology? Is it entertainment, interactive communication, development communication, or communitarian? The right answer is interactive communication. B is the right answer. Next is, which of the following is not a principle of effective communication? Okay. Uh, the options are persuasive and convincing dialogue. Yes, this is important for a communication to be effective. Since the question is saying which is not a principle, so this is not right because it is a principle. Participation of the audience is very important because it gives you feedback. This is also a principle. Strategic use of grapevine. See, grapevine is when there is communication in an organization like gossips and rumors, that is grapevine. So we should use that information also carefully. While which is not a principle of communication is option C, one way transfer of information, because effective communication will always be when there is feedback involved in the communication process. So one way transfer of information is not an effective communication. Okay. Classroom communication is normally considered as. The question is asking, how is the normal a classroom communication, how is it regarded, or how is it looked at? Whether it is effective, cognitive, affective, or selective. The right answer is cognitive. So cognitive is the process when the students, they learn something, understand it, and apply it. Like in maths, when the teacher teaches the students some rules and they apply it in the problem. So this is cognitive. P is the answer. When verbal and non-verbal messages are contradictory means opposite, it is said that most people believe it. So sometimes you might see, you ask someone, how are you? They say, yes, I am fine, but from the face you can understand that there is something wrong with them. They are sad, or they're tensed about something. So the question is asking, what will you believe? Will you believe the verbal message, means that the person is saying he's fine, or will you believe the non-verbal message which his eyes or the face expression is showing? Obviously, you will believe the non-verbal messages, Because students, with our tongue we might say something else, but we can, it is very difficult to hide your expression. That because that is why most people will believe in the non-verbal messages rather than the verbal messages. Okay, C is the answer to this. In a classroom, probability of message reception can be enhanced by, so if you want the messages that is sent by the teacher, you want it to go to the students appropriately, or if you want to have more impact, what should you do? Should you expose ignorance of students? Means if someone is doing wrong, you should like punish him, or expose him. No, this is not right. Increase the information load. Okay, thus giving facts and information will not enhance message reception. This is not right. Using high decibel audio tools. So you think only speakers and all these tools will increase message reception? This is also not right. The right answer is establishing a viewpoint. If you want that the student should understand something, so you should establish a viewpoint. Like if you want to tell the students that junk food is harmful, so instead of saying that junk food is bad, that will not impact the student. The right way is to tell the benefits of eating healthy food and the disadvantages of eating junk food. So when students will see there are numerous benefits of eating a healthy food, and the disadvantages associated with the junk food, they will automatically start eating healthy food. So this is by establishing a viewpoint. That is why D is the answer. A good communicator begins his or her presentation with a non sequitur, repetitive phrase, icebreaker, or complex question. So, as you all know, that whenever a teacher or any speaker starts with a new topic, so they should always want it to be interesting. So, the good idea is to start it with icebreaker. Icebreaker is like if a teacher is going to tell you about mountains. Okay, so instead of just starting with mountains, she can ask, has anyone ever been to a mountain? And then she can ask further, ask how was it, what was the trees like, what was the temperature like. So that means that is an icebreaker, asking a particular kind of a question or starting with a small game or a quiz. So that is a good idea. Icebreaker is a good idea for starting with a presentation. The classroom communication should essentially be, the question is asking how should be a classroom communication? What is the feature of classroom communication? Empathetic, abstract, non-descriptive, or country? The right answer is option A, empathetic. It means considering the feelings of other. If we are talking about like wealth or salary, we should a classroom communication or discussion should be in a manner that it does not hurt the feeling or of poor students who does not belong to a very rich family. So that is empathetic. Listening to a lecture is information listening, evaluative listening, empathetic listening, or none of these. So as you all know, when the teacher delivers a lecture, her target is to give information to the students. So it is a kind of information listening. The students are learning some facts or information about a particular topic in a classroom. Is the teaching on TV is superior to classroom instructions because the question is saying that there are more benefits of teaching on TV rather than classroom, and the question is asking why is that so? Whether it is very large classes are made possible and thus it is economically advantageous, or experts for teaching a difficult topic can be arranged, and others can benefit. Teaching material can be filled for reuse, or all of these. The right answer to this question is option D, because if you look at the options more carefully, it is saying very large classes are made possible. Yes, this is true, because more people are targeted. Experts for teaching a difficult topic can be arranged. So sometimes the teacher might find some topic difficult, so there could be replacement for that topic. And the teaching material could be reused, okay, because it is film, it is recorded, it can be used. So all of these are benefits of teaching on TV as compared to classroom. A speaker using complex terms is an example of physiological noise, psychological noise, semantic noise, or physical noise. So these are the different barriers of communication. Physiological noise is like if somebody is having headache or stomach ache or they are hungry, that is physiological. Psychological means if they are shy or if they are introvert. Physical noise is like if there is some background disturbance in the class, in the area where the speech is going on. So if you look at option C, it is the right answer, semantic noise. So complex terms, sometimes a speaker might use very difficult terminology which the audience might not understand. So this is an example of semantic noise, the barrier related to language, okay, language barrier. Assertion and reason question. Assertion is saying media entertainment does not enhance cultural level of society, while reason is saying most media entertainment encourages escapism, not content quality. So as you all know, whenever you see a movie or a serial, it takes you to a different world. That is called escapism. Okay, so most media it is able to do that, but there is not content quality. There is no content quality. While you look at assertion, assertion is also right. It is saying that media entertainment does not enhance the cultural level of society, because not only media will not be able to do this. So although individually they are right, but their reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. That is why B is the right answer to this question. Touch is an important element in business communication, interpersonal, intrapersonal communication, or none of these. So touch is an important element in interpersonal communication, the communication that happens between two people. It could be formal or informal. Next is in analog mass communication, stories are. So analog mass communication, it could be a radio, which is an example of analog mass communication. So there the stories are static. Okay, there is a person who is delivering that story or that message, and the other person is listening. It is not dynamic like a classroom where the students and the teacher they discuss. So that is dynamic. Interactive is also the same thing, and exploratory is exploring or finding out why something happens. So in analog communication, stories are static. A message beneath a message is labeled as embedded text, internal text, intertext, or subtext. The right answer to this question is option D, subtext. It means you know that somebody has a bad breath. Okay, whenever he is saying there's a bad smell coming out from that person's mouth. So instead of saying that your mouth is smelling bad, you can say, okay, there is a new flavor of mouth freshener. Do you want to try it? So although you are pointing out or you are just saying to try a mouth freshener, but you are instead indirectly trying to say that there is bad smell coming out of your mouth. So that is called subtext. The message is something else, but you are telling something else. Message beneath the message. This is the answer. Which of the following are part of active listening? Eye contact, nodding, seeking clarification, or all of these? So active listening is eye contact because it helps it tells the speaker that the receiver is understanding. Nodding also because you are sending a feedback. Seeking clarification if there is a doubt from the students or the listeners end, the speaker understands, okay, they are understanding something, that is why they are asking a doubt. So all of these are a part of active listening. Next is to decode a message is to. So there are two important terms, encode and decode. The question is asking what is the meaning of decoding a message? Evaluate a message, translate, reject a message, or interpret a message. Decoding, it helps at the receiver's end, you have to remember the students, and encoding, it happens at the sender's end. Okay, so if you look at the question to decode a message, it means to interpret a message. Okay, understand what the speaker is trying to tell you. Okay, that is decoding. One's own description as a person is self concept, self perception, self awareness, or self respect. What do you think of yourself? How, where do you see yourself in a group? That is called self concept, is the answer. Which of the following is the essence of effective communication? So, what is the basis of effective communication? Message, feedback, encoding, or decoding? So, as you all know, message is the information. Encoding, it happens at the sender's end, and receiver and at the receiver's end, decoding happens, and it is interpreting the message. Feedback is the essence of effective communication. Okay, B is the answer. A low context culture is where most information is unspoken, most information is explicitly stated in a verbal message, most of the information is apparent, or most information is non existent. So, there are different types of culture, students. Like there is a high culture context which happens usually in India and Japan, while there is low context culture which usually happens in US or your European countries, where most of the information is explicitly stated. Okay, um, there is not a very the sender and the receiver do not have a very personal bond between each other. Okay, they talk formally, all the information is explicitly stated. Okay, a verbal communication technique used in teaching is, so expression in words, no, this is not right. Presentation without a pause is also not right. Resorting semantic jugglery is also not right. The right answer is varying the speed of voice and tone. So whenever required, the teacher can emphasize on a particular point and she can change the tone as well of her voice. So which makes different things important. Okay, so that tells students, okay, this is important. Through the pitch, also through the tone, um, the teacher can tell students what is important in it. Figure out the components of non-verbal communication in the classroom from the following. So if you look at the options: facial expression, culture, space, and seating arrangement. Okay, let's read the others. Speed of utterance, good feel good factors, acoustics, high speed physical ambience, teacher learner distance. Facial expression, kinesics. Kinesics is the movement of the body. Okay, and personal space. The right answer or the most appropriate answer is option D: facial expression, kinesics, and personal space. Communication between HR manager and salesman is an example of. So, students, in an organization also there are different types of communication: upwards, downwards, diagonal, or cross communication. So, if you look at the options, whenever HR manager and salesmen they are talking, it is an example of downward communication. Okay, horizontal is when people of equal status they are communicated. Vertical means when a senior is talking to a junior. So even that is of two types, upwards and downwards. So when a senior is talking to the junior, it is downwards, or when the junior is talking to the senior, it is upwards communication. Okay, so diagonal is when the people of different departments or different statuses they communicate, it is diagonal communication. The place where public opinions are formed as a result of communication is, so students, sometimes what happens is there is a place where citizens they come together, they exchange their opinions regarding some um, public affairs, they discuss, and they eventually come at a public opinion, so that is called a public sphere. B is the answer to this question. Catwalk is a fine example of verbal communication. So, do you think catwalk is verbal? No words are used. So, it is not verbal. Cybernetics also is not the right answer. Interpersonal is when two people are talking. So, that is also not right. It is an example of kinesics, body movements, how you are walking or how your hands are moving. That is kinesics. Okay. So, a kind of walk where like models walk or cats walk is called a catwalk. What is the type of verbal communication do in a classroom? Spoken, spoken and written, written or body language? The right answer to this is spoken and written. Teacher explains while speaking also, and she writes also in the classroom. So both of these are used in a classroom. What is meant by semantic in classroom teaching? It concerns excellence in teaching, concerns problems in communication, concerns verbal and non-verbal code, or concerns transmission of information. So semantics in classroom communication is, it concerns verbal and non-verbal codes. C is the answer to this question. Group of people formed through web-based interaction is called media community, virtual community, international or internet community. The right answer is virtual. Virtual is something that it physically does not happen, but still it is there. So, sometimes you might have seen there are different groups that are formed on Facebook or on Twitter. So that group of people is called a virtual community. Okay, physically they don't exist, but in the virtual world, like the world of computers and internet, it does exist. Telephone is an example of linear communication, non-linear, circular, or mechanized. The right answer is linear communication because there is one way transfer of information is there in a telephone. Both encoding and decoding of message are influenced by our emotions. Is this statement true, false, or maybe, or never? So, students, you all know, you must be knowing that emotions are so important whenever there is communication. So, while the speaker is saying or while the receiver is interpreting the message, emotions are very important. This statement is absolutely right. That is why A is the answer to this question. Dash means to impart understanding of the message. Encoding, receiving, receiver, decoding, or feedback. So impart understanding of the message is called decoding. It happens at the receiver end. Next is dash is the first enemy of communication. Noise, clarity, politeness, or completeness. So as you all know, clarity is very important. What the person is trying to say is very important. Polite, we shouldn't be rude while communicating. Complete means uh, the information is complete, it is not in parts. So all these three are important, but the enemy or what is a barrier to communication is noise. Noise is any kind of hindrance that it becomes an obstacle in the communication process. Hence is the answer. Next is, which of these elements is not involved in the process of communication? So if you look at the options, sender is involved in communication. He is the person who initiates the conversation. So this is not right. Message is also very important. Channel is which means we are using for communication is also very important. But pipe is not involved in the process of communication. So this is an odd one out in the four options. Next is for effective communication. Which of these commandments should not follow? Objective of communication, inadequate medium, clarity, or adequate medium? The right answer to this question is option B. Inadequate means something that is not enough, not sufficient. So there, the medium should be sufficient. So the question is saying for effective communication, inadequate medium should not be followed. For example, you want to uh, transfer some important information to somebody who is living in abroad, and if there is there is going to be a power cut, so that is an example of inadequate medium. Evaluative listening is successful when accurately distinguish between a message, understand the intended meaning of a message, make critical assessment of the accuracy of facts of the message, or all of the above. The right answer is option C, make critical assessment. So what is evaluation? Evaluation is passing judgments to anything. That is called evaluation. So making critical assessment of the facts is Evaluative listening. Next question is the mode of communication that involves single source transferring information or transmitting information to a large group or number of receivers simultaneously, means together at once, is called, it is called mass communication. For example, your radio or your television or your internet, all these are example of mass communication. Your newspapers, which is called print media, is also an example of mass communication. In the classroom, the teacher sends the message either as words or images. The students are really encoders, decoders, agitators, or propagators. So the students are decoders because their task is to understand what the teacher is trying to say. That is why B is the answer. An interview is a type of dyadic communication, multi-dyadic, mass communication, or none of these. So in an interview, what happens, there is one interviewer who is taking the interview, and the person who is giving is called interviewee. It is a kind of dyadic communication. Dyadic communication is another name for interpersonal communication. So interpersonal is when there is communication between two people. Okay, when there is one person, it is called intrapersonal, but when there are two people, it is called interpersonal communication. And dyadic communication is another name for interpersonal communication. Is the answer. Listening is badly affected by message overload, access of listened material, high speed of speaking, a sizable hearing loss, or all of these. So, what are the factors that can badly affect or affect the listening in a negative way? It is when the speaker is giving a lot of information. Yes, this will affect the listening. High speed means speaking very fast. That will also affect listening. A sizable hearing loss or physiological problem is if the listener has some hearing problem, so that will also affect listening. That is why D is the answer to this question. Better classroom management means peer group work and better interaction among pupils. Yes, this is important for a better classroom management. Prior preparation of the teacher in the making of suitable aids. Yes, this is important. The teacher should do all the preparation for a class. Punctuality of the teacher in the class and finishing the course. Even this is very important. So, how a class will be managed throughout the session? For these, all of these are very important factors. That is why D is the answer to this question. Next is which of the following teachers will you like the most? One who uses broad board occasionally, or one who uses film projector along with proper use of the board, one who uses motion picture as a last resort, or one who uses charts and maps. The right answer is that the teacher should use both film projector and the board. That is why B is the right answer. Next is the primary channels used by individuals to communicate with others are radio and television, email, tone and voice, or sight and sound. So both sight and sound are the primary channels or primary medium that are used by people to communicate with other individuals. Given below are two statements. One is assertion and the other is reason. You have to find out if both assertion and reason are right, or if one is right and the other is wrong. Let's read it. Assertion is saying classroom communication has a cultural dimension. Okay. And the reason is saying beliefs, habit, customs, and language are the cultural characteristics of communication. In this question, the right answer is option A. Classroom communication does has cultural dimension. Yes, this is right. And even the reason is right and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Listening, reading, speaking, and writing all are types of communication skills, emotional barriers, evaluative techniques, or non-verbal communication. The right answer is option A. A good communication skills involves all the aspects of communication, which is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. In communication, the language is non-verbal code, verbal code, intrapersonal code, or symbolic code. Students, as you all know that every language has a particular set of rules for the creation of the message or the sentence. So that rule is called a verbal code. So in communication, the language is the verbal code. B is the right answer. Which of the following are the characteristic features of communication? Communication involves exchange of ideas, facts, and opinion. Yes, it does. Communication involves both information and understanding. Yes, this is also true. Communication is a continuous process. Yes, it goes on and on. Like if you see this video, you reply in the comment section. Then I will reply to your comment. So the communication is a continuous process. It will go on continuously. Communication is a circular process. Like since there is a feedback, so there is a circular transfer of information between the sender and the receiver. So if all of these are the right answer, if you look at the options, A is the right answer. A, B, C, D is right. Next is the term grapevine is also known as. So in organizational communication, there is a different type of communication which is called grapevine. Um, it is not horizontal, nor downward, nor upward. It is a kind of information, informal communication which involves rumors or your gossips. Okay, so it may not be true, but still this type of communication it definitely exists in an organization. Internal and external factors that affect message reception by the students in the classroom are referred as. So there are internal factors like there are some students causing disturbance, or if the student is not well. External factors could be loud music from outside the class. So all these things that affect message reception is called as noise. Noise is any kind of disturbance that comes inside a classroom or in the communication process. Arriving ahead of time for a meeting is an example of. So sometimes if your meeting is at 10 a.m., okay, 10 in the morning, and you reach the office at 10:50 for the interview. So the person who is going to take the interview, he will get a message that you are a punctual person and you are proactive and you are eager for this job. So even that timing of your interview, if you come early, that is also a type of non-verbal communication. Even if you are not saying anything, but still you are communicating something by the time you are coming. So this comes under chronemics. Okay, this is a type of non-verbal communication. That is why C is the answer to this question.